Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Catalyst Corner. We have a great follow-up interview for you today. Big Blue Empire did an interview with CEO Kate Bahnsen of INCHI Worldwide, ticker symbol QEDN. And without further ado, let's get into the interview.
And this is just an updated interview from about 2 months ago. We spoke to Kate. Kate is the Kate is the CEO of QEDN, Ambrosia of the Forest, and GEGI, Genesis Electronics, which is the pet food, the pet food branch of the company. So the QEDN is a processing plant, manufacturing facility, and they deal with all the human aspects of the seed. And GEGI does the pet food. Just to let you guys know, Kate has a processing plant. They're creating, and they're getting a lot of farmers in Colombia for the SACHA INCHI seed, which is like one of the top superfood in the world. It's got like it's high in protein, omegas, amino acids. I mean, it's just a great food that's coming up right now. I've been seeing a lot of doctors posting things about it. I recently tweeted something about a doctor. He was talking about how it's good for cholesterol and dementia, just so many things. And so Kate's, trying to do a great thing, and she's got the country backing her, trying to supply farmland and farmers to get the seeds that she needs to supply these large manufacturers with whatever products they want. So basically, Kate, so I guess since the last I spoke to you, you was trying to get the company pink current, and it looks like you did that. So congratulations on that. We was very happy to see that. But so now one of the questions was, as they went back to pink limited, and so I've got a couple questions, and I've seen a couple questions, tweets going out. Like, can you explain that? Like, what happened, and when can we see the company going back pink?
OTC, because of the new regulation coming up that is effective September, end of September. And what they are doing is try to comply as much as they can with the new regulation. And they got two more questions that you have to answer. So we did that. We are an alternative reporter, and we were able to comply with those two questions. And therefore, we just have to wait that OTC actually review those questions, and it's taking them, quite a bit. Before they didn't, what the questions are, they're talking about you have to give a complete description of your manufacturing facilities and exactly of what you do. So they do a lot more in-depth review of who we are and what we do. So we are just waiting to hear from them if there is any questions. At this point, we haven't received anything. I don't think we will, but it's just a matter of them reviewing everything. And that's not just us, but it's a lot of everybody that's on OTC, they were required. So the system, what they did is make sure that you will comply and answer those questions, and that's why they move you from pink current to pink limited. They review all those two questions, and then you go back up into pink current. And I guess it's just a way of making sure that you will answer that, and it doesn't go underneath the system, which, I guess, people can try, just don't answer that. But no, you have to provide the address, you have to provide everything to make sure that you are a legitimate business.
Yeah. So have you submitted everything that they was needing?
Yeah, everything was submitted last week. I'm expecting it's gonna take them, usually it's taking them about a week to review everything. So if there's anything that they need more to review, obviously we're gonna be able to do it. But I haven't heard anything back. But no matter what, I'm still gonna follow up next week, make sure that, because there are so many companies that now they have to, comply with everything. So they are very swamped right now. So something that usually will take them like 2 days is taking them a little bit longer. But I will follow up this week with them to make sure that they get it done, okay?
Oh yeah, yeah. And anybody that trades OTC is familiar with what's going on right now. They're trying to make sure these companies are legit, and so you got to respect them for doing their job, and we also respect you for getting everything handled. And when people are scared, companies are going to go dark, but what they don't realize, is what you're building down there is, I look at it as an empire. My profile is called Big Blue Empire, so I like that word. Anyways, I know you're putting a lot of pieces to the puzzle together. You got your processing plant, your manufacturing facility, which is FDA approved. You have all your certificates for that. You're getting the land from these billion-dollar gold companies. We're working deals with billion-dollar companies. You're connected to billion-dollar companies. You got a whole country behind you. You're doing a lot of things, and so this is why I'm invested in company, and also you, because I know you're trying to build a legacy here, and you're not going to let this company go dark. The September 30th thing. You're building something here, and it looks like a lot of the pieces are together now. Now it looks like you're just waiting on the deal and to getting the beverage into a Tetra Pack. So I have no doubt that that you're going to build something here, and this company's not going to go dark or anything like that.
No, I mean, we already, we paid the fees to OTC. We have the agreement signed with OTC, because you had to have that done by June 30th. So any company that is not at least Pink Limited right now means that they did not pay their fees and they don't have an agreement. We do have the agreement with OTC to be able to post our stuff. It's just, they just want to make sure that you have everything lined up. Is more requirement, which is good for investors, because then any company that's now Pink Limited and gonna be Pink Current, that means it's a legit company that has all the stuff that it needs to be required to have it going, to be able to move forward with what you want to do.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through your tweets here and just kind of let you go a little bit more in depth, because you can only type so many words on a Twitter message. So one of the big things I wanted to let you try to explain to everybody was, what was the deal that you made with the $2 billion gold companies, the land and the letter of intent to purchase all the seed that they farm or something? Can you go into depth on that?
Yeah. What it is, Colombia has a very big gold mine. They are building one of the biggest gold mine in Central and South America. It is Anglo Gold Ashanti and B2 Gold. They own this project, which you guys can check, is a very big project, and they have to provide a specific they have to provide farmers with jobs. Reason being, most of these companies cannot provide jobs inside the factories or the mining, because they just don't. Usually any industrial mine only provides about 100 jobs, because everything is done with machines, and they need qualified jobs. So what they are doing is they want to make sure that farmers on the neighborhood have jobs, and they do need to get this project done. That way they're not going to have any problems with the community. And so for them, our project works very good. They already have, provided an area where they're going to be able to bring all the SACHA and deshell it and then send it to us. And obviously, Anglo Gold Ashanti and B2 Gold are able to provide them the equipment to do that. That way we know that all the seeds that we get have been processed, accurate, and with our standards. And obviously, like I said, if B2 Gold and Anglo Gold Ashantis don't do that, then they will not be able to get their operating license. So they need us very desperate. And obviously, our project is relatively, short term. The way farmers can get income, relatively fast, 5 to 7 months. If they were going to do coffee or stuff like that, it's 2-3 years. And obviously, setup for SACHA INCHI is not as expensive as setup for coffee, for example. And so they're very, very happy to work with us because they were also considering other stuff like, fish and stuff like that. But what they will need to be able to have an area to process fish and stuff like that is a lot more than what they need to process SACHA inches. So obviously, Anglo Gold Ashanti and B2 Gold are more than happy to work with us because we are not requiring, it's just a deshelling machine and stainless steel tables and stuff like that. Is not as big as other type of work or other type of investment that they might have to do. So they're very happy to work with us.
Okay, so basically, when these gold mines come there to mine gold, the government makes them give back to the communities, and so they've chosen to have farmers grow the seed that you need and also process it. And the letter of intent you signed was to buy it all, pretty much, right? You have the rights to purchase all these seeds that these companies are going to be processing and growing.
Correct. We have the right to buy it all. Number one. Number two, obviously, with that same letter of interest, which is another thing that we did with the government last week, and that was very important. With the letter of interest, the same farmers can go to a bank and get actually loans, very low interest loans, to be able to grow such an inchi. But they have to sell it to us. What we are trying to make sure is that we're going to have enough supplies to be able to, do the beverage, which is going to be our big seller for Nestlé. Nestlé is requiring us to make sure that we have good enough supply. That way, when we finish what we are doing and they put in order, we have the supplies available to be able to do the beverage, which is one of the things that they are looking at. That's one of the things that they want. But if we don't have the supply of such an inch, we cannot do the beverage. Now we can go back to Nestlé and say, okay, we have enough supplies to be able to do the first run, which is 79,000 minimum, 79,000 liters of beverage, which
Oh,
you
wow.
can imagine. That's the minimum. That's, because if not Tetra Pak has to design and make the Tetra Pak, and the minimum is 79,000.
Oh, wow. So when do you think that Tetra Pak will start going into production of this beverage?
Okay, at this point, we make sure that our beverage has the quality to be able to go through the Tetra Pak machine, and the only thing we were waiting is the feedback on the flavor. We just did it with the stevia, and at the beginning they weren't that too happy, so we just did it with French vanilla, and we should hear back. I believe there's going to be Monday or Tuesday. They already got the samples. And so they can see the quality, the way that the beverage, behaves, and the flavor. So we had to go from stevia to French vanilla, which is more desirable. That's what they wanted. So we are just waiting to hear back from Nestlé this week. Right after that, we're gonna do the first run. It's gonna be a smaller run. Then it's not going to be with our specific package, but mostly it's going to be like a lens package, and we just have to put like a sticker around it, which will not be a big deal. But with that, we should be able to do the first marketing run with them. And one of the things that I'm trying to push, and I'm pushing very hard, is that our brand will be part of what they're going to use. Therefore, we start creating a brand recognition. I just don't want it to be a Milo or a Klim or something like that, or a fitness. I just want it to be GM SACHA INCHI, GM SACHA INCHI. That way people start recognizing that's a brand. The same thing that you see Silk. Silk made quite a bit of money by able to create a recognition on their brand.
Oh yeah, I did some research on the Silk. Yeah, that was a massive deal. So basically, when the Tetra Pak goes to production, your name and logo and everything will be on the pack, but Nestle or whoever you sign a deal with will have their stamp of approval, or their logo will also be there. Is that correct, or is it just yours?
Correct. It's gonna be something, not for sure, but that's what we're negotiating, is gonna be something.
Yeah. I know that.
GM SACHA INCHI for Nestle, GM SACHA INCHI for Milo. The GM SACHA INCHI will be a synonymous of something made with SACHA INCHI.
Okay. So that's great news. And that was going to be one of my last questions, but every time you start mentioning that, I see hearts flying everywhere. So that's one of the big catalysts that everybody's hoping that you guys get that deal. So that's going to be huge. So one other thing is I'm reading through your tweets, and there's a lot of them. So I'm trying to hurry this up because nobody really likes to watch these interviews, but this is a lot of exciting information coming through here. So one of the other things is Nestle or these large companies, they need tons of these seeds, right? So it looks like the gold mine deal that you got is going to make supply a lot, but also you just met with the Ministry of Agriculture. Can you tell me, are they going to help you guys with your production or with the supply of seeds? And what is the government's interest in SACHA INCHI right now?
Number one, SACHA INCHI is the top crop for substitution, for crop substitution. So the United Nations pretty much told Colombia that they will not get any more funding for eradication. That means that Colombia have soldiers that they go in and just kind of pull the coca plant. They're only gonna get funding for substitution. That means that they have to come in, and if the cocaine plant is going out, something else gotta go in. So SACHA INCHI is the top crop because it grows really fast and it gives the farmer a relatively close enough income that what coca leaf does, and it provides them an income every 2 weeks. Coffee and cacao, for example, is like once or twice a year, and that makes it very hard. And also, if something it doesn't go bad, you dry the seed and they can bring it out to the market like once a month or every other month, something like that, which it helps quite a bit on that. So what we were able to get, and we actually got a huge recognition by the Ministry of Agriculture on what we are doing and the products that we are able to do, is we're going to be starting to work and be part of what is called Agricultura por Contrato, which is every farmer can get a contract, and with that contract, they can get funding from different banks, including Bancolombia, which one has supported us the most. So that's number one. Number two, it's that we will lock those farmers with us, so they cannot go in and sell their crop to somebody else. They have to sell it only to us. So that secures us being able to get a supply, and also be able to get the supply at a cost that, at the same price. We don't want it to be a change in cost, because that will, mess up our change. And like I said, before, if, for example, Nestlé wants to start with Clem and Milo, which are the two ones that we were discussing, and probably the fitness, it will be 79,000 each liters that needs to run. Therefore, we need to make sure that we have a complete a supply of product every time that we're able to work with them.
Wow, that's very, very impressive. Honestly, I was talking to somebody. I was like, you're making deals with the government, and you're locking, the product, all the seeds from the government that they're going to supply, and then these gold companies down there, which, thousands of acres of land, or hectares. I think a hectare is 2.5 acres or something like that. So,
Correct.
yeah, I mean, this is just amazing that, this is at the bottom right now, and you're building something, and for the last couple months the stock has just continued just an upward trend to the right, and you can kind of see each catalyst, each milestone that you've hit, and it looks like you're building something towards something big, and the Nestle thing is obviously one of the main goals. But I also saw something about Pepsi. A tweet about Pepsi is would you have enough seed to supply a company like Pepsi for whatever they want to do, and Nestle, or could you just do one deal at one time?
At this point with the beverage, we should be able to do small runs, but if they come and tell us, more than the 79,000 at a time, it makes it a little harder. But with the Ministry of Agriculture, we're gonna start going to different events all over Colombia, and we're gonna have a booth inside that event, and we're gonna be the only company doing that to promote such changes so that farmers can go in, learn about the product, and know that right then and there they're gonna have financing to be able to do it. Because at the end of the day, a farmer might be interested in growing such a INCHI, but where the funding gonna come? And that's one of the things that we were able to provide.
Yeah, so like, speaking of funding, so like, instead of accumulating all this toxic debt for your funding, is the government going to help you for any kind of funding that you need, or will you have to turn to like some kind of a note holder that's, that's usually bad news?
No, at this point, we have Bancolombia backing us. They have backed us in the past. Through Bancolombia, we were able to get our leasing, the equipment that we use in the factory, and other stuff that we have been able to do that. We're going to continue with that. And with now Agricultura por Contrato and working with Nestle, everything is going to be a contract. So we can access very low income, very, very low interest loans on companies like Bancolombia, which is the biggest, one of the biggest banks here in Colombia. And we're going to try continue doing that because it's better for us, number one, and number two, also it helps us with taxes, because if we're able to do that, we can diminish the taxes that we're going to pay. So at the long run, it's better working with leasing than anything else. Leasing is our best option, especially because, Colombia has a higher tax rate. It's about 33%. So we want to make sure that we have, pay the least amount of taxes.
Okay. Well, that's good. I mean, because that's one thing in the OTC people are worried about. A stock gets momentum, people get excited about it. And then the next thing you know, it crashes 70-80% one day. And then, then you start reading around and you find out, somebody's converted some debt or they've turned to a note holder, so I'm glad that you're not going down that avenue, looking for any kind of financial help as far as that. So,
we want to be able to use the reduced taxes, because and like I said, we have the ability to work with the government to get very low income for this type of project.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I mean, anytime you got the government backing you on stuff like that, that's just really good. So, I mean, I got some questions coming in. I don't know. Somebody asked about vertical farming. I don't know if you guys even do that down there like they do in America, like the greenhouses where they grow up and trying to grow, they get more production per acre of land because it grows up instead of out. I don't know if you guys probably not. Right now, you're just trying to get the land and get the farmer. So I'm just looking at some of the questions that's rolling in here. So
we have plenty of land. There is like another project that we just visited. There is quite a bit of different funding coming in. And like I was mentioning before, Colombia has over 7.5 million hectares. And I think there was in one of the tweets of available land. for farming. So we should be able to get quite a bit of land available and farmers willing to work with SACHA INCHI.
Yeah. So what is the CO? The government is going to let you use their logo or something on your packaging? I'm reading through the tweets. Is that correct?
That is correct. We have been able to get two logos. One is Hecho en Medellín, which we are already on their website. And the other one is Made in Colombia, which we can do that in our packages. Therefore, not only we get brand recognition, but we also get support from Pro Colombia, which is the division of the Ministry of Commerce in Colombia. And that's the which one are helping us to be in Expo Dubai.
Well, I'll tell you, honestly, I'm reading through these tweets and it's just like, I mean, this is just some crazy stuff that you're doing. Very impressed, honestly. Like, I mean, I'm invested in you. You know, I see a lot of these CEOs, they're posting pictures of these $5,000 a night hotel vacations, Lamborghinis. When's the last time you've had a vacation, Kate? I don't see you.
Not for a while, you know, I've been, you know, quite a bit and I just don't have enough time. And at the end of the day, you know, I think that I mentioned it before, this is the legacy of me and, you know, also my daughters, which they have worked very hard there, you know. I don't need, you know, for me, a car is just bring you from point A to point B, you know, as long as you can put gas and oil, that's as much as I care, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And at the end of the day, you know, it's more important for me that seeing all this folks very eager to work with us and also being able to bring a product that will be very helpful, you know, for everybody. And, you know, that people will be very, very happy drinking, has a good flavor. Then, you know, within 5 years, I know that, you know, don't quote me on this, but I know that bigger companies probably will come in and probably try to buy us out, which is a very big possibility. And then, you know, then you really are looking into, you know, something big, you know. Right now we're still starting and, you know, having big companies just looking and working with us, I think that's, you know, very, very important. And there's still a lot more to, you know, do and more products to come out. We are working right now in starting to do a specific meat patty with SACHA INCHI. We're working in doing a premix of cookies and other type of stuff that people can actually do at home, and the pet food line, which we have been able to accomplish quite a bit. We have specific recipes, and it's a big trend now for people to cook at home, and I think that that's going to continue. And we want to make it nice and easy for people to be able to do it, so that they know what to do, and it's something, a very nice recipe they can do at home and enjoy a good meal for, you know, everybody in their family.
Yeah, I'll need to post some links to your YouTube channel where you guys make different types of things and, you know, pet foods and everything out of this, you know, this seed. And yeah, the meat substitute, that is absolutely huge right now. And, you know, when I started doing some research on this seed, I mean, that's the perfect substitute for meat. I mean, you got the omegas from the fish, you got the protein from your steaks, from your beef. I mean, you know, I mean, just the more land you get, the more seeds, you know, the more, I mean, it's just more and more things are going to happen. I've seen makeup. I mean, there's just tons of products that I see that people are, you know, trying to get to come out with the SACHA INCHI. I mean, just I don't know, just like it's an amazing seed. I don't know where it's been for a long time. I guess the one thing is nobody can get it to taste right, and that's what you guys have. You know, the advantage on. You got the taste. I've actually tried it, loved it, really good, and so I'm looking forward to getting the beverage. And so you know, just a lot of things going for the company right now. I mean, they're just doing a tremendous job.
Yeah, but there's still quite a bit more coming up. We know that we have a huge potential, and we have a market that nobody else has at the moment. And more and more companies are going to be looking into working with us, and we are working very hard right now with RangeMe, and Michelle right now is in the U.S. right now doing some extra work in the United States with companies that are very interested in working with us. So we should be able to see more of our products in the United States very soon. So as soon that's a little bit more clear and we have a specific contract, we're going to be able to tell everybody.
Oh, well, that's great. Yeah, I know I've seen Nestle. Something Nestle is extremely interested in the government with Pepsi. Yeah, a lot of things going on. So I'm getting a lot of messages. A lot of people wants me to ask about GEGI. They're very interested in that company as well. Can you give some updates? What's going on with GEGI?
Yeah, right now GEGI is working very hard on our pet line. Because it's a very big market, and we have developed the recipes for the pet food. We have been testing it, especially with dogs, kitties, to be able to make sure that animals can actually digest it properly and really benefit. We have 2 Belgian Malinois. Our goal specifically is to go from a pet food that is designed for a high activity, energetic dog like a Belgian Malinois, and then scale it down for a dog that is pretty much the same concept that you see in big athletes. Have a good product for a big athlete that we know that work very good, and then we can go more of a house dog. And that's what we are working on. So I cannot quote it yet, but we are working to get this Belgian Malinois raised on SACHA INCHI into very big, people that need those dogs, specifically the U.S. government, and see how that works. That way we can come and actually prove that it's a very high energetic product for a high energetic dog, and therefore is going to be better for your animal than a lot of the food that you need now, that you see now that has fillers. We are trying to avoid fillers, and we are also working on be able to have recipes that people can do at home, pre-made recipes, especially in the pate format, that you actually can see what actually the dog is eating. Because that's becoming a big trend that people want to cook for their dog at home. So we want to make it very easy that people can actually, work with the dog with something that is very easily that you just need to add water and make it at home, and it will be very efficient, and the dog will love it, because for me it's very important that we don't have no fillers. And that's where we're working. And if we work right, we're already trying to get a hold of Purina, which we have been working with Nestlé to be able to do that. Therefore, through Purina, we're going to be able to market it. But the main thing is have a good recipe for a very active dog, like a Belgian Malinois, and then be able to, prove that actually have them better performance. And from then, we know that it's a very good recipe.
Yeah, great. I know, I think you guys are gathering like some scientific data where you're feeding these dogs, your product, the SACHA INCHI, and you guys also have like animal shelters where you take in abandoned pets, and so there's a lot of data that you're probably gathering from these pets that you're being able to create new recipes and see what they like. That's one of the ways you feed these animal shelter dogs, correct?
Yes, there is a foundation that we have here in Colombia that mostly doggies and kitties are being rescued, and mostly SACHA INCHI is one of the first things that they receive when they get here. because a lot of abandoned little animals, kitties and doggies, need the extra protein and the extra omega to be able to, make it. So the shelter has already rescued over 300 kitties and, probably about 50 dogs, smaller dogs that we are working to be able to move forward and get more organized, and a percentage of the revenue of the pet food is gonna help this shelter to make sure that these animals are able to get, a forever home, what we call it.
Well, that's great. That's great. That's just that's really good stuff. Yeah, I've read some of the messages on that and saw some of the little poster boards with all the animals and stuff like that. So, but great things that you're doing, Kate. I think I've taken about 40 minutes of your time. So, basically, is there anything you would like to conclude the interview with? And, here in about a couple months, I would like to do another update and see where you're at by then.
Yeah, no, especially thank you for everybody that has been supporting us. We know that we're extremely close to finalize a deal with Nestle, and we definitely don't want to be an exclusive, with them. So we want to be open and work with other companies. And we know that SACHA INCHI is going to be one of the big ingredients that you saw before. Nobody had any idea what quinoa was or chia, and now everybody is looking for it. SACHA INCHI is a real superfood, and what we are doing, nobody else is doing it. There is nobody doing the beverage, and to get where we are, it's going to take them a lot of money, a lot of research, and we know that we're going to be the first and the best.
Right. Hey, sorry, I got some more questions here. I'm just trying to make everybody happy. So now that you've laid the foundation, you've been able to get the land, the products going to start coming in, or the seeds. People want to know, like, when will official PR start coming out? As of right now, we've only had like Twitter updates, and people want to see the official PR. And I just wanted me to ask you, do you plan on releasing any official PR soon?
Yes, very, very soon. Like I said, I'm just waiting to hear the last feedback from Nestle. Therefore, I know that we are going into putting the product in Tetra Pack. They obviously, since this is a food, everybody has to recognize that it has to show a lot of due diligence on their part. Make sure that we have the ability to do it, make sure that the product is safe and a good taste and stuff like that. So we should be able to get that feedback very, very soon. And then from there, we definitely gonna see a very big PR explaining all what we have accomplished, and know exactly what we're gonna be doing with moving forward with this.